Donald Trump's first court hearing in his federal election interference case since the Supreme Court's opinion granting him broad immunity has been postponed for 3 weeks. Today, Judge Tanya Chutkan granted a request for the delay, moving a hearing that she previously scheduled for next week until September 5th. But this request for a delay didn't come from Donald Trump. It came from Jack Smith. Donald Trump, of course, agreed to the delay. Now, this chain of events left many legal analysts wondering, what's the prosecution's strategy here? Jack Smith once seemed eager to move Trump's criminal case along as quickly as possible, until Trump's appeal put it on hold for more than 8 months since last December. So what's going on at DOJ? Joining us now, Andrew Weissmann, former FBI general counsel and former chief of the criminal division in the Eastern District of New York. He's an MSNBC legal analyst and co-author of the New York Times bestselling book, The Trump Indictments. Andrew, after the 8-month Supreme Court imposed delay, you'd think prosecutors would be eager to move. Why do you think Jack Smith asked for 3 more weeks?
So this is very much tea leaf reading. Just so everyone understands, this was the case now after that Supreme Court decision that Kamala Harris, in the clip you played, was referring to. The district judge has the case back finally after 8 months. And she had asked the parties to submit a filing as to how both sides propose the case should go forward. And she wanted that filing today, and she was going to hear from the parties a week from today. And last night, there was a joint filing, but clearly, as you noted, Jonathan, at the request of Jack Smith, saying that we need 3 more weeks. And in that filing, Jack Smith said that as special counsel, he is still, although he's a special counsel, he is required to consult with various parts of the Department of Justice. I know that very well from when I worked in the special counsel Mueller investigation. We still were part of the Department of Justice, and we had to comply with all Justice Department rules, including coordination with other parts of the department that had equities. My guess as to what is going on is there probably is some tension. Jack Smith is a very hard-charging prosecutor. I am sure that he wanted to actually meet this deadline and not ask for more time. But the Department of Justice is a very large place with a lot of moving pieces and a lot of people with a lot of different equities in how to handle this Supreme Court decision. And Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, is a very thoughtful and very cautious person. And I suspect there probably was a bit of a sort of tug of war as to how to handle this and the timing. Here's the big picture, though. The downside of delay is that to the extent that people think there could be a hearing, a factual hearing where we hear from witnesses, the more there's a delay, the less likely that is going to happen before the election.
So then, Andrew, let me get your take on this tweet from George Washington University law professor Randall Eliason, who tweeted, could he, meaning Jack Smith, need more time because he's preparing a superseding indictment, adding Trump's co-conspirators as defendants? That would be smart. Andrew, what do you think about that? And who might the co-defendants be?
So I don't disagree that it might be a good idea to charge various underlings, but I don't think that that is the reason for the delay. And the reason I say that is if Jack Smith were going to do that, there is nothing about the 8-month stay that was in effect that related to Donald Trump. There would be no reason that Jack Smith could not have sought an indictment of underlings before that, or have sought it sooner than needing another 3 weeks. So I just don't think that is the reason for the delay. And who the underlings could be, essentially it would be very similar to the cast of characters that we saw under indictment in Georgia, the sort of Mark Meadows, Rudy Giuliani's of the world, and Jeff Clark, those kinds of people. And it's pretty clear from the current indictment that they are unindicted co-conspirators because their conduct is is part of what you can see Jack Smith would present at a trial. One final note for people is, the real big picture here is if Kamala Harris is elected, this case is alive. And even if there's nothing that happens between now and the election, if she is elected, this case is going to go forward. If Donald Trump is elected, this case is not going forward. He, as president, one of the first things he will do is just tell his attorney general to get rid of this case. So big picture, this case really rises and falls on the election results.